is Dorothy here with Done by Dorothy, and we are working today on our never-ending tag booklet for our swap and group. So I will share that the images that I used. I got from, let me double check, make sure I get it right, Curious Crow Digital. So Curious Crow Digital, and you have some options. There's two verticals, and there's some horizontal, and there's actually 6 vertical ones. So if the horizontal are just wide enough that they go across the card, the verticals do a nice center on the card. So if you wanted to use, an image on each one, and you use the verticals, there's exactly 6, which is what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, I am going, like this one, it pretty much takes up the whole thing. So I'm going to pull out my cutter. Again, my big, huge cutter. And I want to trim my images up some without losing too much integrity. So, like, I'm going to cut the walkway off over here because I want mine to be a little bit smaller where they fit on the card. I'm going to cut a little bit off at the top. So let me grab my other page over here so you can sort of see what I did. So like this image right here, I cut into that. So see the difference between, it was this size before. So like that much on a tag or that much on a tag. So remember, you can't alter images when you're playing with them. So I'll continue to cut these down. Let me pull this regular one over here so I can show you. Okay, this one doesn't have a whole lot to cut off except maybe a tad bit over here, which will make it a little bit narrower. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cut any more else off that. So, that one just lost a little bit at the side, but it is a little bit smaller still. I'm actually leaving this one at a full size because, her foot's all the way at this edge. It's almost down here. Her hand's almost about, her hat's over there. So I will leave that where it's at. And I'm just cutting away like the negative space that isn't her actual body. So like here, there is a small, this goes all the way over here. There is a small area there that I could cut off. And see, that thins that down just a little bit. Now, we could go through and actually fussy cut around, and we may do that around a couple of them. This one, I can cut a wee bit off the bottom and some off the top, so it's going to make it sort of more of a shorter bulk here. I'm going to cut just a little bit of this over here. Yeah, I think it looks good. I like that one. Okay, then I have this one. So we can trim some around her. Let's see. Trim a little bit off the top. Trim the side till it's almost against her body. Or, well, any part of her body, be it her hair, be it whatever, you sort of want to keep that in the image. Because that sort of shows her boho, bohemian, gypsy sort of style. So we ended up with that. And that sort of just pulls all that in there. So okay. I'm going to pull my glass mat out just for a bit while we ink these up. And I have that. And I have so much stuff everywhere because, it's boho, which means stuff's everywhere. I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Ink. I'm going to use black soot. And I'll show you in a minute why I want to use the black. I want to use the black because by putting black around it, you sort of pull attention in. It sort of frames. And it sort of adds that, like, vignette to it. And make, you know, and around the corners, I'm going to make it even darker. I'm just going to hit the sides, but around the corners, I'm going to make sure I really darken it in. That's going to pull your eye into that center. And even on your tag, it's going to do it. Because even though we want our, you know, you want your tag to be seen, but at the same time, you want to make sure you don't lose focus on the image, because being a boho tag, you know, we're actually focused more, the boho part is the part you want to catch. And even though, you know, the fabric, you want it to sort of fade in the background, you don't want it to be the main focus when you look at the card. You want, you know, the image to stand out. That's the point of adding an image. Now, you didn't have to put images on every page. I chose to because that's me, I guess. That's what I chose to do. What I should have done is cut my other ones out of these so you could see the difference by just rolling that little bit of black around the edges. See where that darkens that in up here and sort of pulls it in? It doesn't seem, this one, the line's a little too straight for me though. Okay. And I'm just going to go around and do that to all these edges. And I know some people were like, oh no, it's boho, I don't know how to do a boho. Boho is the funnest to do because there is no wrong or right. You literally just do what you want. You know, boho is about, you know, gypsies. If I can talk. If you think about gypsies and things like that, you know, they live off the land. You know, they go to markets, they sell, they trade. You know, they get what they get. So, you know, they're going to repurpose things. They're going to upcycle things. They're going to, you know, find that 5 or 6 shirts, turn it into a skirt, and that's why you get the multi-layers of colors, and everything's so bright and beautiful. So, that's what we're after, is that sort of bright, hodgepodge, crazy quilt type look. To me, at least that's me, that's my definition. And again, everybody has a definition, so don't think just because. I'm going to take this back off. Okay, so this is the card we're working with. You do have the option that you can sew around. I want to start with this fabric because to me this is just so perfect. I love this. I actually thought about using it as the base of the whole entire thing, but I think I will use it on the front. Let's see, how do we want to start? I want to make sure I get this area with the purple, but I didn't really want to, although that would work. Actually, I think I want the darker at the bottom and the brighter at the top. Yep. Okay. That is what we're going to do. Let's see about where I need. I'm actually going to go just where it catches the. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I cut right about where this purple switches off here. And I'm not worried about cutting straight or anything right now because of this fabric. It actually has a fabric, a coordinating fabric that goes with it, which is absolutely gorgeous too. But I thought this was perfect, and with the stars and stuff, I loved the way it looks. Okay, so there you have it. So first things first, let's pull out our Fabri-Tac. And you could use other stuff besides fabric. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm actually going to use my glue stick. If I can get my little drawer open. Because I want to sew around it, so I'm going to use my glue stick. Let me grab my glass mat. Okay, so I'm just going to take my glue stick and run over this whole entire area. On the first tag, it's easier, I think, if you do one at a time, because if you try to do them all at a time, it ends up drying more than... And I am using quite a bit on here because I want it to stick, although I am going to sew this. And I actually have gold thread that I'm going to use, so... And, you know, let's put this way since that already has... And I'm just going to layer have that just a tad bit. Oops. Can't do it that way. I wanted to do it this way because I wanted the purple at the bottom. Oh, my. And I'm looking for... You know, it's always when you're looking for something that you can't find it. I moved it when I piled all this stuff up here. And now I gotta figure out where I moved it to. Oh well, I'll just use my hands. It did have a wrinkle in it. I was trying to make sure that didn't. Okay. Then we're gonna pull this up. I'm going to pull this back a little bit where it goes over that fold, because I want to make sure that fold's glued very, very well. Yeah, go ahead and do this one too. I'm just going to make sure I put a heavy amount of the glue stick on there because I don't want it to dry over here before I get there to adhere to it. Ew, so sticky. And I'm just taking my fingers and just making a lot of noise. I'm getting ready to move. I have a part of what I'm moving around with my new setup and stuff. I have a new table or a new desk that I actually have a wooden desk that I'm going to be using it on. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. I'm going to put my lid back on my glue stick. Now, I'm going to just go through, make this little corners coming unstuck. And again, this is just to hold it long enough that we can trim it and sew it. Just going to flip it over, and I'm going to go ahead and trim around my edges. And I'm going to trim it right up to the paper. And then I'll keep all of these little scraps because we can use those. especially if you're going to do like a boho journal. Then you have that, and I've already trimmed this one, so I can take this and trim this right through there. And I trim this one back here, so I can take this and trim it up right there. And I can go through and trim any of the little extra doodads from around it. Okay. Now, what do we want to do on the back? I want to do something that sort of matches. I don't like that. I don't know, unless we want to do... Yeah, because you're going to be sort of flipping... Let's see. To there. Okay, so what if on the back we do the purple down? That would be cute. That would give us our base would be the same, and then we can decorate each one differently. That's how I think I'm going to do mine. Now, at least some people, like I said, may do theirs totally different, you know, and this is, again, see, those are all different colors than what we have, except for that main purple right there. So, I do think that's what I'm going to do. So, let me see where I have to go to, right above that star right there. So I'm just going to go right to the beginning of that color right there. And again, because I'm trimming around these, this doesn't have to be exact. And this was a scrap piece of fabric that I had left from a long, long time ago. Okay. So then, what I'm going to do with this go ahead and trim that just a bit too much. Too low. I don't think I did. I did trim it just a little bit too crooked there, guys. Let's see if I can. This is the end enough to cover. Okay, well, we'll make it do, because okay. I am going to I was going to look here and trim. I actually have an individual so I'm going to trim this up really fast, and what I did is I glued on it. I guess I glue on the side of it. Okay. So this is what I just do with, oh, it's over here. So all this is where I made a second copy of this and I cut it down. Right? So this will be our backs, but I'm thinking I'm trying to think if I want to use the same material on the back, guys. I'm sorry. I don't. Let's change this up a bit. Let's use this on the middle on the back because I love the way it is. And it does match, so I like that. Let's see, it's already cut down here, so let's use this for the middle one. And this is actually actually both of those were medical scrubs that were cut down. So that's why you see the sewn part in the middle. And I think I'm gonna actually use this over here so I get sort of the both of those. So I'm gonna grab my pencil, and all I'm gonna do is outline the tag here. And I'm not even worried if it's exact because we can trim it up once we... I just needed it. Sorry if I'm really quiet, guys. I'm trying to somewhat concentrate on what I'm doing so I don't mess it up. Not that being quiet helps, because I mess up enough when I'm not on camera when I'm by myself, so. But, you know, that's life. Okay. So, this down here. Okay. So, let's see. How do we want to do this? Want this in the front. I want this on the front. So let's just do this one here. Oops. But I don't want to do my glue stick yet. Because we're going to sew around this. So let me at least trim up this one little edge over here. Is going to kill me if I don't. It's going to drive me crazy. And it is a little bit bigger than what it needs to be. Like I said, we'll trim that up when we fold it. Line this up a little bit better. Okay. And if it's not exact, that's fine because we'll have edging and all that on it, so I'm not gonna fret about it. And I want to come through after we sew this one and sort of use pinking shears so the brown shows through. So that one is good. So let's work on getting this front done, and then I got that one, and we'll probably do maybe a bright blue one would be pretty. I'm just gonna cut a square out and then we can glue it on later. guys are probably like, oh my gosh, she's just hacking that up like that. These are all leftover scraps. And then, let's see, let's do this purple here. And then we'll put the one in the middle. I think it'll look okay. We shall see. It's boho. There is no way to mess it up. Like see here's there's 2 scraps. I'm just gonna cut off the eyeball section here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we have our 3 sections we're gonna throw on the back. So it'll be different colored, but this one will be the front. Okay, so we have this. We need to figure out which images we want to go where. So we'll just do this like this. This will be in the middle of the back. So we'll have that hodgepodgey color, but I like this on the front being the same. But we're going to put some other stuff across her too. So let's see. It has a bright pink on it. I think it will look better up front with the orange. Like, I think that one would go better there. That might go better there because of the blue on her tie. That there and that there. I think so. And that gives us sort of 3 different styles on the front. I think I will put her in the middle though, the biggest in the middle, and the yep. Okay, so we know what images go where. So let's stack these over here out of the way. And let's see what we're gonna do with this. So we need to layer this up. This is green. She has the green, so I think definitely want to do a piece of doily over here with her somewhere. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think instead I'm gonna come to this curtain. I want this netting part through here. There's a really cool sort of netting piece that I think would has that netted look to it. See what other colors we have over here that would. Let's try to pull in some from the back. So let's cut off a small piece of this purple. Let me find my pinking shears. They're there. Pink and purple, or green and purple always look really good together. Okay, I do know I have some rhinestones left here. I thought this would look really good. I don't like that on there. Hold on, guys. I'm looking around in here for some piece of this. I think this would look really cool. Maybe over in the background. It's some of this, it's Gala Yarns mixed fiber, and it's just sort of the things you make like scarves out of. Let me make sure I'm up here where you guys can see. That might look really cool, netted across there. The green up there, so it sort of has that. And I do want this little runs. I don't know. I'm gonna do some hangy down things. Let me see ribbon wise what we got going on here. Look at, ooh, I do have some green lip work. I got a couple different bright green ribbon. Trying to sort of get a feel for. Okay, well, let's see what we can do with. I have some of these pearls. I'm wondering if I cut off a little bit of these. I do think that's what I want on there. I think I want to do this one with the whole green and. Well, but I feel like it needs something underneath of it. Or maybe, you know, some kind of light color on there too. I mean, I know they don't. Yeah, like that. Let me see. I have a ton of weird little fibers. Let's see what I have. Oh, I do have some green ones. Some green and gold that would. I do like that. No, all different kinds of. There's some with greeny purple. I might use some of that a little bit. Pull that up there. Just keep stringing. I pulled a bunch off the thing when I pulled it out. And we'll keep the green one out too, because I might like it. I'm trying to see what else I have in here, because I have a ton. And that was all purple. Let's see what all I have here. I'm sorry guys for, this is what I do when I'm actually, so, okay, let's glue this one down. And I'm using just enough fiber tack to glue it down, and then when I go over to the sewing machine, I can sew it. These I will leave off until I get done. And I'm using just enough to hold it down, but not enough to, like, you know, cause a big glue. And I mean, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have to sew them. You can just, you know, do it on the sewing, or glue it. I'm just sort of sticking some out there to sort of hold it down. Because some of these are so thin that they're just not going to want to hold down a lot. So I'm just smearing a little glue on some of the parts where it can hold it. You know, let's tuck this under here. Those things. And that'll help give it a little bit more support. Let's put that right up to the edge there. I like that. Bright green ribbon through the middle, which I like. I like the big bright green ribbon through the middle. And it'll sort of hold all of that main stuff through there. Now, I sort of want it to the side, I think. Right there. I guess it was the middle. And then again, I'm just going to put just enough glue on the back to sort of hold this in place where it doesn't move around when I'm trying to. I actually think I'm going to put that straight. And then once I sew it and everything's held down, then I'll come back through and trim everything up. So there's that one. This one, I really feel sort of, did I want to go bright with that one? And I have some green somewhere. Hold on, I'm wrangling through boxes of junk that I have over here. I have little things hidden away. And I guess I should have pulled all this out and sorted it all and figured it all out first, but I sort of like doing it as I go. Let's see. I was looking to see if I had any, I thought I had some brighter sort of pink. I'm sorry guys, I'm digging through my box here. Okay. Let's work with that. So, pull off a little bit of this green cheesecloth here. You can't never go bad with green. Well, it's sort of, there's a green there. She's got some bright green throughout. So that was... Okay, and she's got yellow in her dress. So I thought... Again, I love using my pinking shears. I just think the little triangular edges sort of give it a little... Okay, I'm going to put that at the very bottom, just as a base, because I want it to sort of cover it up. I don't want it to be as bold and as bright as it is. So by putting it at the bottom, everything else will be layered on it, so maybe that'll sort of help hide it some. And again, that doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I actually do like that. Okay, so I'm gonna trim this in half here because most of that's gonna be covered up. So, and I don't want to put it so big and bulky that I can't sew through it. So now I'm just gonna hit all of this with glue to hold it down. Just put that right there. Then actually I think it needs, it's stuck to my finger, guys. Instead of using that, I think we'll use just a tad bit of this doily. Sort of has a green tone to it. And everybody has their sort of own definition when it comes to boho. So, you know,